I mean, our book
So,
is called How to Resist Amazon and Why. And the
exactly.
Amazon rank is, I think, 1.5 million bestseller on Amazon, which I'm like amazed it ranks at all.
Can you help us get that up? I don't know. I can't figure out why it's struggling there.
For me, that's fun because I look at that and those two numbers together are a signature of your strategy.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, oh, you're scoring at the indies, but not scoring at Amazon because that's based on your distribution model. It does present a problem. What else am I'm looking at the ABA list, which goes to the top 40. I look at the IPC list. I mean, it is an open question how to get deeper into that to make sure I'm not missing stuff.
Hi, I'm Joe Beal, the founder and CEO of Microcosm Publishing. I'm also the author of A People's Guide to Publishing, which distills what I've learned from selling millions of books over the past 28 years.
I'm Ellie Blue, the Vice President of Microcosm. We started this podcast to share what we've learned with newer publishers, so you can learn from our mistakes. Or maybe you just want to learn about the publishing industry.
This week, we welcome first-time guest Jim Hanas, who is a creator of a brand new and really fascinating tool that has gripped the industry with so much curiosity.
The website that I launched is called Small Press Insights. And it really came for, like all good products, it became because I wanted to answer a question for myself. So I was, overseeing analytics at a Big Five publisher for a lot of years, and I left there last year. And the other part of I was kind of doing two things. I was an executive at a Big Five publisher on the marketing side, but I was also an author. So I was going to AWP, meeting with small presses, seeing what was being published. And this year at AWP was the first year that I'd gone to AWP, and I was on my own. And when I went home, I didn't have BookScan. I didn't have some of the tools that I had to kind of almost get oriented with all the people I had met. Where are their books now? What books are coming out soon from them, and things like that. Hey, I know where there's a lot of data and maybe where we could find information about forthcoming titles and Amazon rank. Let's spin some things up and put it against a set of small presses and see what we can come up with. And so I think I did it initially just for myself, but it developed so quickly that I was like, hey, I should just publish it on the web. I called it Small Press Insights. It's updated every day. Automatically, and then I write a little bit about what I'm seeing there and about how the product is developing once a month on my Substack.
We built this software from scratch to solve our own problems starting in 2001.
It's not only the reason for our survival, but the reason we've been a Publishers Weekly fastest growing publisher 3 years in a row.
Now we want to share it with you.
Join Working Lit and get back the agency to understand your publishing business, market and sell your books, and painlessly pay royalties.
Working Lit, doing the math for publishers.
Visit workinglit.com to give it a try for free.
Somebody like me with subject matter expertise who maybe you would have relied on a data engineer to set up scrapers or people like this to set up stuff in visualization to get that done. So now what it actually does is it just runs from, I've used it to create what I'm going to say, a data architecture that any other company would have. They're just going to do it relatively quickly. It takes in the data and it visualizes it. And part of that is, I think it would be, I've spent more than a decade staring at book data, which helps you with the smell test. You know what I mean? Right. Totally. It goes, pivot it that way. No, that's not right.
Right. You can kind of tell when something is wrong. So
exactly.
It sounds like you made this because of your own curiosity, dare I say, and then it sort of swelled into realizing that this would be valuable for other people. So what were your goals with that?
I wanted to get more involved in the small press world into which I publish. I have a book coming out from Coffee House Press. My first short story is McSweeney's 25 years ago. If I was to choose where I wanted to hang out, it's in the AWP world. So it was kind of taking what I learned from Big Five Publishing and applying it to my actual area of interest, and putting it out there kind of as a demonstration. I almost think of it as, like I said, I was a blogger in the O's. I always call this data blogging. Doing like data, doing a dashboard like this as a blogger would be very hard, but now it's kind of equivalent. So put it out there, meet people. Maybe stir up some consulting for people that want to go, hey, wow, how did you do that? I'm going, well, I could help you. I could do, well, everything. I've talked to everybody about, I could teach you. I could help you.
I'm curious more like what you learned from this tool you created, like it's Small Press Insights. What insights have you gained? And has anyone else used this data that you've compiled to create insights that you found interesting or surprising?
I found that it's become pretty accurate in being able to see what's going to be big, what's going to launch very big at the indies. In my last column, I said that I thought The Resistance History of the United States by Tad Stormer from Steerforth was going to be big at the indies. I said that about 3 weeks ago, and it debuted #1 on the ABA list. So when you start to see momentum like that, you can really see stuff pop. So I think that's fun for me to.
Like, how were you able to tell that using this tool?
Amazon rank in the pre-order window.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So what about somebody like us, where we just break all the metrics, where we're in the like 5 to 10,000s on Amazon, but we're in the
we're in the millions.
20 on
Amazon.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, the 10 millions, but we're in the top 20 in indies.
Our industry is run by billionaires and conglomerates.
At Microcosm, we wanted the freedom to independently sell our books, easily pay royalties, manage our inventory, and understand our business all in one place.
That's why we've been using our own software since 2001.
Now, we want to share it with you.
Working Lit is the only business success software that is created and owned 100% by publishers for publishers.
Join Working Lit and get the agency you need to help your business grow.
Visit workinglit.com to try it for free.
Well, this is an interesting question, which I'm trying to delve into. One of the fun things that I can see, particularly for Microcosm, is that I do reproduce the Independent Publishers Caucus list, which is they do it with the ABA, and you guys are consistently on there. And then I put it up against Amazon rank, and the thing that's very funny on yours is that there's like kind of a straight line where the things that are higher have a higher percent rank, and then you're like on there and your rank is 250,000. The positive side is that they expose this huge free data set, and it's probably the best free data set for relational data on book sales across the market. Now, it has blind spots, but it is complete, and it goes all the way down. It goes all the way down. So that's why it's kind of like, that's where I build from there and then try to add on with signals that I can get from the indie market.
Or like, say, an acquiring editor or a marketing person at a small press who's looking to get insight for how to do better with their books, their acquisitions, or how to develop the titles they're currently working on. Like, how would they use your tool?
If I was an acquiring editor and I was looking at it every day, I would, look at what's debuting high, what's moving, what presses are at the top, and I think that would give me a good sense of what trends there are and things that are selling and where I might acquire. It might orient me, which is where I wasn't oriented in the world of what really sells, and just looking at it every day, I kind of get oriented.
One of the questions I always have when looking at charts like this is like, how many copies does that actually represent? Like, we've definitely had some experiences where we're like, number one at Powell's, but we know how many copies that is, and it's a surprisingly low number of copies.
Or high sometimes.
Yeah, but I mean, and then the cliff can be really steep, where like, the top 5 sellers are selling like gangbusters, but then below that it just drops off dramatically.
How few books are sold generally on a per copy basis is, I think you're very transparent in your book, Joe, about how much it is. You're very open about it. I think I'm amazed at how many people I meet in the business, authors and stuff like that, who are shocked when I tell them about big books that they are big fans of, how little they sell. I definitely think it's something, there's a reason that the business doesn't put them out there, because everyone would have a very disappointing experience. I don't really have a disappointing experience. I mean, it is what it is. I'm happy to live in reality. To answer your question, I mean, it looks at the top, it's very unstable. So probably in the top to 1 to 5,000 at Amazon is selling probably between 750 to 200 to 2,200 in the market, estimated retail market in a week.
Wow.
Okay, so that's the top, but 5K to 15K probably 200 to 560. 13K to 35K rank, you're in the 9 to 260 range. And then by the time you're at 100K, you're selling between 15 and 55.
What if you're at like
copies of work.
5 million? How many is that?
Is that
less than 1?
I don't know how. I mean, it's a few a week.
Thanks for joining us once again.
Please send your questions to podcast@microcosmpublishing.com so we can answer them on future episodes.
And please give us 5 stars on iTunes and everywhere else that podcasts are reviewed.
You can find us on the internet at microcosm.pub,
on Twitter at Microcosm,
on Facebook at Microcosm Publishing,
on Instagram at Microcosm_pub,
and here in Portland, Oregon on North Williams Avenue.
Thank you so much.
Have a wonderful week.